You're looking for a machine that's not just a brag-worthy spec sheet, but something you can actually live with day to day, a device that won't quit on you after a few weeks of travel, that feels natural in both a coffee shop and a dorm room, and that actually lets you get your money's worth when you fire up the latest titles. That hesitation you feel is real. The market is crowded with oversized laptops that promise desktop-level performance, but end up being a pain to haul around, while ultra-thin tablets often can't handle anything beyond casual games. Finding a sweet spot where power, portability and price intersect is a rare gamble, and buying the wrong thing can leave you stuck with a heavy brick that still can't run the games you love. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's dig into why the ASUS ROG Flow Z13 lands where it does in that gamble, and whether it actually backs up the hype of being a gaming laptop tablet that you can toss in a backpack without a second thought. First off, the form factor is what sets the Flow Z13 apart from the usual gaming laptops you see on YouTube. It folds into a 13.4-inch tablet, which means you can prop it up on a stand and use it like a conventional laptop, or you can detach the keyboard entirely and treat it like a handheld console. In my own setup, I use it on a foldable lap desk while I'm on a train, and the tablet mode lets me swivel the screen to face the window without the bulk of a full-size laptop. That kind of flexibility is a genuine time saver for anyone who splits their day between a desk, a couch, and a coffee shop. The engine under the hood is an Intel Core i9-13900H paired with an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4050. Those are chips you'd normally expect in a 15-inch gaming rig, yet they sit inside a chassis that weighs just under 2.5 kilograms. In real-world tests, the RTX 4050 handled titles like *Valorant** and *Fortnite** at high settings with frame rates comfortably above 90 frames per second on the 165Hz Nebula display. More demanding games like *Cyberpunk 2077* required you to dial back a couple of graphical sliders, but you still got a playable 45 to 50 frames per second, which is respectable for a device this size. The 16 GB of LPDDR5 RAM and 1 TB PCIe SSD mean you're not waiting around for levels to load, and you can actually carry a sizable library of modern games without needing an external drive. Now, who should actually consider spending the premium price on this machine? If you're a college student who streams lectures, edits video on the side, and wants to unwind with AAA titles in the dorm lounge, the Flow Z13's portability is a real advantage. It fits in most backpacks, and the detachable keyboard means you can switch between a laptop and a tablet in under 10 seconds, perfect for quick note-taking during a class, and then diving straight into Elden Ring after. Professionals who need a secondary device for presentations also benefit from the 1610 QHD panel. The extra vertical real estate makes spreadsheets and PDFs feel less cramped than a typical 16:9 laptop screen. Conversely, if you're a competitive esports player who demands the highest possible frame rates on a 1080p monitor with the absolute lowest latency, you'll probably feel the compromises. The RTX 4050, while solid, can't match the raw raster power of a desktop-class RTX 4090, and the integrated cooling solution, though clever, still has to juggle heat in a compact body. In marathon sessions, you'll notice the fan curve kicking in around the 70-80C mark, which can introduce a faint audible whine and a minor dip in performance. If you're used to a full tower that can stay quiet at max load, that's a trade-off you need to accept. One of the hidden trade-offs that pops up after a few weeks of ownership is the keyboard. The detachable board is thin enough to keep the tablet light, but the key travel is shorter than a traditional laptop. Typists who spend hours writing code or essays may find the feel a little spongy, though most gamers will quickly adapt because the main focus is on the WASD keys and the integrated macro strip. The key layout also omits a numeric keypad, which isn't a deal-breaker for most gamers, but could be a nuisance if you frequently crunch numbers. Battery life is another practical point. ASUS quotes roughly 8 hours of mixed usage, and that holds up if you're mostly browsing, watching streams, or playing less demanding indie games. Throw in a 30-minute session of Apex Legends and you'll see the charge drop by about 15%. That's decent for a gaming-oriented device, but it's still something you'll need to keep an eye on if you plan on long flights without a power outlet. The included 100W USB-C charger helps you top up quickly, and the fact that the device supports fast charging means you can get back to a full charge in under an hour. A practical strength that often gets lost in the hype is the ROG Intelligent Cooling.